Welcome to the Q.A.C. Team podcast, where we dive deep into the journeys of inspiring business owners, bringing you insights and challenges from the entrepreneurs who are shaping our world. Join us as we explore their paths to success. Now here's your host, Charles Luttrell.
Good morning, listeners. My guest today is Nick from Grandview Farm. Nick, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Chuck.
How are you today?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on to the Q.A.C. Team podcast. We appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started with our first question here and tell our audience who you are and a little bit about what you do.
Sure. Nick Bailey from Grandview Farm. We're in Forest Hill, Maryland, so top of the Chesapeake Bay, mid-Atlantic, and my family and I farm livestock and e-commerce, so direct to consumer, all the meat, so primarily through our website and ship right to doorsteps all over, essentially New York to North Carolina. But got started. We've been at this for about 12 years now, maybe a little more.
Oh, wow. That's a good time.
Got started around 2010, started messing around and figuring things out. In 2012 really became a real business.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So tell us a little bit about why did you decide to be a business owner?
I didn't. It came about. So I guess you kind of got to go back, several decades to when Dad was growing up. He grew up in the 60s and 70s, and he lived in town, but he would ride his bike to his grandfather's farm, and his grandfather would help him, and taught him how to take care of livestock and buy and sell cattle and all that kind of stuff. And so he just had a passion for agriculture and the farm. And then fast forward, he and Mom lived in town as well. They got married and had me and my sister Caroline, and lived in town, and Mom and Dad bought our farm, that we are kind of our headquarters farm, back in 91, and moved to it. And they tell me, you couldn't see the house from the driveway. It was so overgrown. And there's a picture of Dad and his uncle and his dad, my grandfather, standing in the kitchen, which was a dirt floor.
Oh, wow.
So mom was crying, and Dad was working on the house, and they just they built the place up. And Dad was a row crop farmer in the 90s. And he just, I got to give him credit now. He had the foresight back then. That was the time to get bigger, get out. And it was a tough go. I mean, it was really financially hard on our family and he and Mom, but they stuck it out, and he decided he was going to get out, because he was, spraying. That was right when the GMOs really were coming around big, and so you were able to spray Roundup and glyphosate on crops without them dying. So it was, killing the weeds, and that was a huge turning point for modern agriculture as far as efficiency and scale. And he to his credit, he didn't like it. He was contrarian at that point, because this was like the next best thing for row crop farmers at the time.
Yeah.
And he saw the writing on the wall that, you were going to need more and more. There was going to be resistance from weeds and modification, genetic modification. So he got out of it. They kept our little place there, our little farm, and it kind of sat dormant until around 2010, when he picked me up from college. I was in college for business and engineering. I didn't have any plans to come back to there wasn't a farm to come back to at that time. And we went down to Polyface Farm in Virginia, and Joel Salatin, his family run that, and it's a pasture-based livestock operation. And they do direct to consumer. And I just, something about it just caught my attention, and there was something about it I just couldn't stop thinking about. So we bought 25 egg layers and a cow, and we started we started rotating around the farm there, and that was between 2010 and 2012 in that time period, and then
Mm-hmm.
we started selling eggs direct to our community at that time.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, and we had some really trusting customers back then because the barn that we had an old refrigerator from my uncle secondhand that we put a few dozen eggs in each week, and we had a dryer sheet box that was the cash box.
Wow.
And this barn was falling down, and customers would come in there on the weekends and buy eggs and put some cash in the box. And it was it was, but they were raised on pasture that there was nothing else like it in our area at the
Yeah.
time. So it was unique. And so people that were um, educated and knew that they were seeking that out for their families came out, and they were serious about getting their eggs. And we just saw, we just made a connection with them. And that really, that was, maybe a dozen customers at the time. And
Mm-hmm.
now that we have well over 1,000, active customers, that still rings true.
Yeah.
The fact that these folks are highly educated on health and the food system, and seek our farm and our product,
Yeah.
and farms like us. It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
exciting to be part of.
Yeah, I can imagine. So you told a lot of the story of the background there a little bit. My next question was going to be, how did you or why did you choose your industry?
Mhm.
So it kind of sounds like the industry kind of chose you, or
It did, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
mean, but the cool thing about this type of farming, so we talked about dad, row crop farming, corn, soybeans, that kind of thing. You're kind of doing one thing. I mean, I know there's a lot of technology involved now, and all that stuff, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, you're still producing a commodity that goes into a commodity system.
hmm,
In our type of farming, uh, we are the completely vertically integrated from a business standpoint. So as we grow, there's roles in the business for every type of um, industry.
hmm,
So we do everything from the livestock production and taking care of the land, to the taking them to a local processor for harvesting, bringing all the meat back to the farm, marketing that meat to our customer base, um, all the customer service and logistics and distribution that goes into that, then all the finance, the bookkeeping, the um, finances,
yeah,
and running a business. So we have about 10 people in our team now, and the exciting part about this thing is you can be somebody that's interested in marketing and advertising, or someone that's interested in a CFO role, or interested in being out in the field and moving cows and chickens every day like we do. And
right,
all those interests can be wrapped up in this type of business. So while it is a agricultural business, it's a lot more than that when you go direct to consumer, which is really fun. And it's incredible to see our team grow and watch everything that's happening.
yeah. And you talked a lot of different roles and a lot of different things that kind of happen to go into your farm. So tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you face with where you are now. You started with a cardboard box, with for a
Yeah.
cash register. You actually obviously you came a long ways.
Yeah. Yeah, we have. I wish we had hung on to that. We had that for a few years, just because of the sentimental value. But
Yeah,
and
I can
but
imagine.
yeah, but and just a reminder where we came from. But no, I mean, we are a completely different business now, and it's for the best because, like I said, we're able to go out and regenerate more land and build our team, and grow our community, and that's really what it's all about.
Hmm.
Um, but the challenges are, it really, they're widespread. I mean, everything, our cattle are 100% grass fed. So it takes a lot of land year round to keep those cattle fed.
Yeah,
And um and it's for the best for the land. We move them every day so that land gets to rest for long periods. And but we are in an area that's a blessing and a curse. We're between Philly and Baltimore and DC, which is amazing for our customer base. But at the same
Hmm.
time, it landlocks us in a lot of ways, and we struggle to have enough land to keep up with demand. So just access to land, to pasture is a challenge that's constant for us. Um,
Gotcha.
yep. And then, we kind of now, after 2020, after COVID, we kind of break down our business into pre-COVID, COVID, and post-COVID. So it's kind of
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we grew by over 900% during 2020, just because of the incredible demand,
Yeah.
and and that was obviously a huge learning curve, and we didn't talk about that at the time because folks were, it was really tough for people, physically, mentally. That time period was tough for a lot of folks, and
Yeah.
we kind of had the opposite experience in a lot of ways. I mean, we had our struggles, but our business was, I mean, it really, became a real long lasting generational type business, and
Hmm.
um, at that time, and so coming out of that, we had to learn how to operate the business at a whole new level, and really be intentional about long-term planning and logistics. And so it's been really fun. We've been able to build our team, and
Yeah.
we have folks in all kinds of different roles now. And
Right.
and those challenges are just growth. It's just how we grow, staying authentic and true to our mission, and um, because we can build up our customers' trust for 20 years, and I remind our team all the time it takes 20 seconds to erode that trust, or ruin it. So just trying to build a small farm in an authentic way, to meet
Right.
such a huge demand is kind of our challenge, but it's one I mean, that gets us up in the morning. It's so fun.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
so
it's good that you love what you do, right? I mean, you know.
yeah, yep. And I
Yeah.
remind our team all the time. I mean, we are our own competition. I mean, the only competition we have is with ourselves,
Yeah.
and how much better can we be tomorrow than we were today?
Yeah.
And our team is aggressive about the customer experience, and aggressive about self-improvement, and it just shows in our growth and our retention, and so
Hmm.
it's fun. It's a fun thing to be part of. I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
Right. Now, has it always been this business model where it's you deliver to the home? Can we like drive to your farm and buy product, or is it like delivery only?
No, that's a great point. I mean, when we started, like I said, in the barn there, I mean, we wanted to stay true to that. So we built out the proper farm store. So no
Gotcha.
one's no one's risking their life going in this old barn anymore. So
That's a
yeah,
blessing, yeah, right?
right, yeah, yeah. We fixed it up since then too. So, uh, but yeah, I mean, we always believed that we wanted to keep folks connected to the farm,
Yeah.
and viscerally connected. So it's such a disconnect now with grocery stores and food, and so that farm store is there, so that and our farm tours, so folks can come out and reconnect with where their food's coming from,
Yeah.
how it's being produced, how it gets to them, the folks, but us, behind all that,
Yeah.
and it just builds a relationship that's just it's one of our unfair advantages in the industry, in the the greater food system.
Hmm.
That's not going to happen at a Walmart or a Whole Foods or any of that. It's just not possible. And so we
Yeah.
really we really lean into that, and making that connection with our customers. Um, so yeah, so we've always had the farm store there, and it's open on the weekends, and folks come out, and get their food. You don't have to order ahead of time. You just come out and browse our freezers and
Hmm.
refrigerators, but if you'd like to place an order, a lot of people will come out and then decide to start placing orders, and subscribe to those orders, so they come in, some kind of frequency that,
Hmm.
and they can adjust it, based on the time of year their family needs. And it's,
Hmm.
so we really have worked um, to make it as easy and as enjoyable as possible to support, local food, and get this kind of food to, to their family's dinner table.
Right. Yeah, it seems like I get a nice little streamline going there to where it's easy to do, easy to pick up, easy to deliver.
Yep. I mean, we're constantly iterating. I mean, again, it goes back to our team, and just wanting to be better, just aggressively. Anytime we get feedback from a customer that said, "Hey, this was hard for me," or "I didn't understand how to change my order delivery date, or adjust my subscription," or whatever the case was, we tackle that. And of course it takes time, because there's codes, writing code in the software, for the website, and working
Sure.
with developers and stuff. But it is just a very easy process to get this kind of food, which is cool. I mean,
Hmm.
this wasn't when we started, 2010, 2012. This was not, something that was the case. So it's cool to be part of that kind of technological revolution, and being able to bring it back to agriculture.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, how technology has streamlined so many different businesses, and especially the farming, to
Mhm.
where you don't have to rely on people driving up to your little stand, a little shoebox, and you know
Right.
trying to have food orders. It's like they can order on the line now. They can come up into the store, and things are just like technology has made things so much easier.
Yeah, I mean, some of our
Great.
customers have a recurring order every 2 weeks, for example, and they do nothing. We send them an email, let them know their order recurred, and then we send them a text the morning of their delivery, and we send them a text with a picture of their box at their front door, and they get it and go on. And
And going on.
um, yeah, and
That's
and
great.
yeah, so it's cool. And then sometimes, you know, that's not right. That's not the way folks want to connect with us. They want to come out to the store every weekend, and pick through the case and grab their eggs, and talk to us, and we love that just as much. I mean,
Yeah.
there's room for all that. And so yeah, it's fun to be part of. It's an incredible time to in history of technology, and agricultural industry. It's an incredible time to be
Yeah.
part of it.
Right. And give us real quick a brief rundown of some of your products. So you have beef, eggs, milk.
Yep. 100% grass-fed beef, grass-fed and finished. So we raise cattle on pasture and move them every day. And then we have pasture-raised pork. So we have pigs out in the woods, move
Oh,
them
great.
frequently as well. And
Hmm.
then our chicken is out on pasture, uh, and our pigs and chickens are, they're omnivores, so they need grain to supplement their pasture diet. So
Hmm.
they get soy-free, non-GMO grain to supplement their diet. So we're meeting a lot of the needs, and that's just customer feedback over the years. When we started, it wasn't GMO-free grain, it wasn't soy-free. Those are iterations we've made based on customer feedback, and keep in mind we're feeding our family too. Brittany, my wife,
Yeah.
and I have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. So all and
And that
and
keeps you
our
busy.
yeah, it does. They're two boys, and they're wild. But we are Subscribe and Save members as well, and we try to really put ourselves in the customer's shoes, and we make changes based on our experiences, and what we see it would be better for our family. And Nadia and Amanda and several folks on our team are moms, and
Yeah.
so it really gives us perspective that is benefits the farm and our customer base.
Yeah.
um,
And I think it's
so
great that you make changes, on customer feedback as well. That shows that you care about your community and about your business. That's great.
oh yeah, I mean, that's all that
Yeah.
matters to us. I mean, the customer experience is if we just focus on that, it will reverberate through the rest of the entire business. I mean, it goes all the way back to how we raise animals and making sure we're doing that in the correct way, all the
Hmm.
way to the after the sale, and answering questions, or making sure a customer had a great experience with us is, we just want, we don't necessarily want to be the only farm that they support, but we want to be their favorite.
There
We
you go.
want to be the ones, that they tell their friends and family about.
Right.
So that's how we operate day to day. But
That's awesome.
but
And
but
that's
in
good.
addition, yeah, but in addition to the beef, pork, chicken, we also have egg layers out on pasture. So we have eggs, and then we bring in local products to our farm store that are just in line with um, the things we would want to feed our family.
Right. Yeah.
And we know our customers have a ton of trust in us, so we really only bring in things that we use, or we vet. So we have incredible milk from Preble Creamery over in Baltimore County, and
Hmm.
we have vegetables from Mr. Doug, one of our customers. He retired, and grows incredible vegetables, and from Flying Plow Farm, and Third Way Farm, and we have Oasis butter, and just the and Alpine Creamery makes incredible cheese that just can't keep it in stock. So we just bring in really high quality products. We have bread from Cunningham's
Hmm.
over in Baltimore County. So just stuff
Some
that
great
people.
partnerships there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible,
That's
and
great.
yeah, it just makes a lot of sense when folks can come in, and they don't have to. They can come into that store and feel completely secure in everything that's on the shelf. So
Hmm.
they're not wondering where this came from, you know, how it was grown. I mean, they know if it's there, they're good to go with
Right.
it. And certainly we'll answer questions when they have them, but they come in with a baseline of confidence that just makes the experience that much better.
Right. And that's great. Like you said, it's all about the customer experience.
Mhm.
Quality product, and you sell to the customers. It makes a repeat business, keeps you going.
Yep, yep. And
That's
when
all.
they come in with that baseline of confidence into the relationship, we can move that relationship forward and accelerate it much more quickly
Hmm.
than if they were, shopping with some faceless or nameless brand that
Yeah.
they had to vet, and really, look, our customers do their homework, and they're smart, and they seek us out. So when we're able to accelerate that relationship with them,
Hmm.
um, it just makes it more fun, and it gets us to the place we want to be in the future with them much more quickly.
Yeah. And speaking of future, my next question, so what are your expectations for the farm in the next year or two?
Man, as much planning as our team does to anticipate things, we have our mission and our goals, but we are we've learned to be very dynamic and very forgiving of the whole thing, because it has continued to surprise us in a good way. I mean, we there is no slowing down in sight for us. I mean, our customer base is growing rapidly. We see new customers every single day placing
Uh-huh.
orders, and we honestly have a lot of pent up demand in our current customer base for items that we have trouble keeping in stock. um,
Wow. That's a good thing
Pasteurized.
too.
It is, but at the same time, it's not a widget that was imported from China that folks can kind of wait for. I mean, this is
Right.
food that they need to
This is
feed their
food.
family every week.
Yeah.
So when we run out of chicken, it's a little bit of an issue, and we don't want, and it goes back to that customer experience. We want to be there for them as much
Yeah.
as possible when they need us. So, um, last month we grossly underestimated the amount of poultry we needed to serve our customers. We ended up selling out of the chicken we had that was supposed
Hmm.
to last a month. We sold out in 3 days.
Oh, wow.
Um, and these aren't things that you just 3D print. I mean, these are
Right.
these are animals on
These are
pasture.
animals, right? This is something
That's
that it takes time to
Yeah,
grow and harvest.
right. Right.
Right.
So we really have to be forward thinking, and try to meet our customers where they are, and think about the future. So we're doing our best right now. We are we are just growing so rapidly that it's fun, and it's great challenge. But we are going to be here in the next 5-10 years, and we're planning for all that. But we just, it's kind of hard to anticipate, exactly what that looks like. It looks like several thousand customers. It looks like increased efficiency in our logistics and distribution areas into specifically DC
Hmm.
is where we're seeing a majority of our growth. And honestly, as we grow, it looks like a better experience for our customers. We're going to be able to invest more in their experience, and we are actively working on new ways to get them out to the farm, and even our
Right.
customers that order and get it shipped to their door. We're always looking for new ways, and specifically now diving into um, giving them an experience on the farm that they can
Hmm.
enjoy. So we're really leaning into all that.
That's why I'm kind of glad of this interview. I'm starting to look into changing the way I, feed myself and my
Mhm.
family. I'm looking more into natural foods and things like that. So this has been eye opening.
Yeah, I mean, beyond the nutrient, like in our grass-fed beef, our omegas threes and sixes are much more balanced, which is how they're supposed to be in a herbivore. Cattle were never meant to eat grain, but now they're standing, in the industrial system. They're standing in knee deep manure, eating from a feed trough that is unnatural to their diet, and they would not survive much longer past when they're harvested on
Hmm.
that kind of lifestyle. So being out on the land, eating a grass based diet is how they were meant to live and grow. And
Hmm.
then all our costs are internalized in a system like this. We don't have these massive governments. So I mean, a huge part of the government budget every year goes to the farm bill, which subsidizes the industrial food system, and you pay for it in your taxes.
Hmm.
And you may not pay for it at the grocery store necessarily, but our our society is paying for that in a big way. And it, one day we're going to have to pay the piper. I mean, there's a lot of things that are being pushed aside that one day will come to light. I mean, we're really worried about the future of water and and land.
Yeah.
We have Bill Gates buying up um, as much land as possible. I think the largest private landowner in the country now, and we have um, countries like China and other foreign countries coming in and buying land for not only the ground that they're buying, but the natural resource, the water underneath that
Hmm.
land, and so it's something that the consumer needs to. I know there's so many things that take our attention as Americans every day, and we're just trying to raise our families and have a good life. But there are some serious things that need to be addressed in our agriculture, and
Yeah,
we
to
think,
secure our future,
we,
right? Yeah, because it's all about
yeah,
the
yeah.
future now. Right.
I mean, this sounds contrarian now, but I mean, that was when we started raising animals on pasture. Folks laughed at us, but I mean, that's the that's the standard now for a lot of
Hmm.
folks who reach out for our product. And so, and that was 12 years ago. That
Hmm.
So it wasn't that long ago that folks were laughing at us for doing this, but and I
And
think
look
that
at you
when we
now.
look right, right. Well,
Right.
I think when we look forward, yeah, I think when we look forward another 10, 20 years, a couple of decades, there's going to be a crunch on food and land and water resources, and food and water might become a new currency, might become the new gold,
Hmm.
if it continues to go down the path that it's going now, because it's very dynamic
Yeah.
right now. And so we're doing our best to secure all those type of resources and just be a part of the community that can offer the food that folks need without multinational food corporations being part of it.
Right. Yeah, we thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's fun. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fun, but it's something that folks, that is serious. So
Hmm.
at the same time, we take it seriously, but we try to have fun with it.
Yeah. So how do we reach you guys? How do we find you?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, our website, grandviewfarming.com, has kind of all the resources on there. You can learn about the farm, watch videos. We have a virtual tour of the pasture on there. Come out to our farm store in Forest Hill. All the information's on our website there, and about
Okay.
shopping at the farm,
Mhm.
and on Google. If you search us at Grandview Farm on Google, that'll all pop up with our store location and hours. And then you can, if you want to order on our website, you can do it right there and place your order and check out, and it'll be on your doorstep the next week. So in some cases that same week. So we're on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and always sharing pictures from the pasture. So yeah, so all those places are, grandviewfarming.com. Our website's the best place to start.
Sounds great. Appreciate it. Nick, thanks so much for coming on and sharing your story with us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Chuck. And I wanted to give your listeners a discount code if they wanted to go on and place that first order.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Appreciate that.
if you
I
want
wasn't
to,
sure if we were going to talk about that question. I appreciate it.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
of course. So it's gonna be Q.A.C. 20 at checkout.
Okay.
So Q.A.C. 20, and it'll give folks $20 off their first order.
Wow. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of
Awesome.
course.
Really appreciate that. Well, Nick, it's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to come out and visit you guys and take a tour and check out the store and see what you got and be a customer myself soon.
Good deal. Thanks, Chuck. I appreciate the time. This was fun.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day,
All right,
Nick.
take
Take
care.
care. You've been listening to the Q.A.C. Team Podcast with your host, Charles Luttrell. Connect with us on the web at qacteam.com, Facebook and Instagram at qac.team. Thanks for listening.